Hello, my loves. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new. I'm Scarlet Siren. You can call me Scarlet. Today, we have an artist that is new to our channel, but not new to me, and I would think most of America. Even if you don't know her music personally, I'm sure you've at least heard of her. And that person is none other than Miss Kelly Clarkson. So, for some backstory, Kelly Clarkson, of course, obviously won American Idol, deservedly so. She has one of the most powerful voices in modern music. That's just all there is to it. But backstory for this song is Kelly got married a few years ago to Reba McEntire's stepson. They have 2 children together, and they met, fell in love, got married, had kids, middle, and then now they're divorced. I don't know if their divorce is final or if they're still in the middle of going through the divorce, but they are no longer together. So the album that this song is on is largely about that divorce and about how she has been working through and processing those emotions. So, with that being said, I am very nervous about this because I am currently going through my own divorce. And I actually have to check my mailbox tomorrow to see if my divorce papers have arrived. Not looking forward to that. Anyway, hopefully this does not reduce me to a puddle of tears, but it might. You never know. I'm not sure, but we will just get into this. Like I said, the entire album basically is revolving around this divorce and basically everything that goes along with that, which you don't typically, unless there are underlying issues, or not really underlying issues, unless there is an immediate threat to your safety or the safety of your children or your pets or whatever. Unless there is immediate danger, most of the time when you go through a divorce, it is a very, very slow decay of that marriage that you were in. At least that was the case for me. I know that's the case with a lot of people. You fight for it for so long, and then you have to step back and you realize, okay, I've been fighting for something that's already been non-existent for quite some time, and you were kind of just in denial of the whole thing. And like, I know for me personally, there were a lot of red flags that I ignored that I probably shouldn't have, and that even dates going all the way back to the beginning of my marriage. I probably should have seen a lot of it for what it was, and I think that's true in most cases. So you think to yourself in those instances, okay, I really love this person and I want to make this work. It doesn't matter what any of those other problems, they don't matter. We can work through them if we love each other enough. And that's true to an extent. If there are deep-seated problems in your relationship that you either can't talk about or won't talk about, it causes a huge shift and huge divide in your marriage. And that's kind of what happened in mine. I'm assuming that might be what happened with Kelly's. There may have been some infidelity in there somewhere. I don't know. So please don't be like, oh, he cheated on her, she cheated on him. I don't know. And I don't need to know. It's none of my business. It does not matter. The only thing I care about is the music that came out of it. All that being said, though, I do hope that Kelly is doing very well. I hope that her children are getting through this, because divorce is very hard on children. So I hope that they're doing well. But anyway, the song is one that Kelly described as the saddest song she had ever written. And I read that it was in the little, when I looked up the lyrics on screen, it was a little factoid at the bottom. And apparently when she performed it live somewhere, she said, "This is the saddest song I've ever written." So, doesn't bode well for me. So let's get into this. The track is called Lighthouse, and it is from the album Chemistry, which came out, I believe, earlier this year? Yes, earlier this year. I don't remember the exact date. I'll have to look that up, and yeah. It was sometime this year. Anyway, let's see what this lighthouse is all about. Is it a metaphorical lighthouse, or is it a literal lighthouse? Okay, this might actually make me cry. I've made a grave mistake here. Ooh, I love the reverb there. Okay. I knew I made a mistake, you guys. Well, she's not wrong. It's a sad one. Okay. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm just gonna go sit in the corner, cry for a little bit. Okay. So it is a metaphorical lighthouse. Okay. I like that metaphor. Because lighthouses are what guide ships and keep them from hitting rocks. And, you know, if there's no light, you're gonna hit the rocks and you're gonna crash. Okay. Okay. We can do this. We can do this. It's such a shame when your wants and needs, they don't align. True that. Which road to take, 'cause your hands no longer holding mine. I guess that's life, and sometimes you fight, and sometimes you walk away in order to survive. Yeah, I mean, you do what you gotta do, no matter how much you might not want to. What good's a lighthouse when Oh, that bridge got me. That bridge got me. Because I swear I don't cry at songs like this all the time. Let me explain. Okay, God, now I'm gonna have to redo my makeup. Damn it. Damn you, Kelly Clarkson. This kind of reaffirms my theory that that it was a slow death for this marriage, because eventually you come to see that the things that you once really found cute or endearing or attractive about your partner have suddenly become the thing that you can't stand about them, or that they can't stand about you. And you get to the point where you're like, you used to think it was cute when I did this, and now they're like, oh no, it's just irritating and I really don't even want to be around you anymore. So that kind of reaffirms that that's probably what happened with her and her ex-husband. Like, I used to think it was cute that my ex-husband could spend hours, gaming on his computer. And, oh wow, he's got something that he's passionate about, something that he really, really loves. And then it would get to the point where I'm like, okay, you're literally not even helping me with anything. You're not listening to me when I'm trying to ask you a question. You're too busy being focused on whatever it is you're looking at on your screen. And it gets to the point where you just can't take it anymore. And granted, I was not the one that decided to end my marriage, but I see now that it probably was the right thing to do. No matter how much it hurts, no matter how much I wish we could have found a way to make it work. But sometimes you have to walk away, because I realized, after we separated, and I dealt with the devastation of that, just being on my own after not being on my own for the last 7 years. I finally realized that I could do anything I wanted, because I didn't have to worry about, is he gonna think that this is weird, or is he going to judge me for doing what I want to do? So I got a lot of freedom with that. As much as, like, I love to watch horror movies. That's like, horror movies are my comfort thing. Like, they just are. I don't come for me, okay? There's just something about watching a teen girl run through the woods and get stabbed. I don't know. It's cathartic. Let me have this. Ugh. I am so sorry, you guys. But anyway, my comfort movies are horror movies. Silence of the Lambs is one of my all-time favorite movies in the world, so I watch that repeatedly. If I'm just having a bad day, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna watch Jodie Foster get terrified by Anthony Hopkins. That's what we're doing today. But every time I would watch a horror movie, especially one that I have seen multiple times, my ex-husband would come in the room and be like, oh, you're watching this again? You've seen this a million times. Why don't you do something else? Why don't you watch something new? And at first it came across as joking, but the more often he said it, the more I realized he was legitimately getting irritated by this. And I was like, this is not hurting you. Why do you care? Like, why is it such a big deal for you? And, like, I didn't say anything when he played the same game day after day after day after day. other than, hey, dinner's ready, you might want to come downstairs and get it. But that was a whole other thing. Anyway, now I can watch horror movies as often as I want. And my dog doesn't care. That's the one thing. My dog does not appreciate the finer points of horror movies. He doesn't appreciate the suspense, the anticipation. He doesn't get it. He sleeps through everything. And, you know, every time I would ask my ex-husband to watch a movie with me or do anything like that, he would be like, well, that depends on what it is. Because if it's something that I think is stupid, then the answer is no. And so I had to be very selectful of what we watched together, what we didn't watch together. Fun fact, if you live anywhere near Louisville, Kentucky, they are doing a mac and cheese festival this coming Saturday on the 26th. I have always wanted to go to that, and they do it every year. And last year, my husband does not like, or my ex-husband does not like macaroni and cheese. What the heck? Who doesn't like mac and cheese? I don't understand. What's wrong with you? I'm kidding. You know, if you have legitimate reasons for not liking it, I mean, it doesn't matter what your reasons are, they're legit to you, so don't worry about what I think. But anyway, he did not like mac and cheese. So last year I asked if we could just go. Because I was like, look, I know you don't like this, but I think it would be fun to, you know, walk around downtown and, you know, get to see a part of the city that we don't usually see. And, you know, it'd be nice to just get out of the house. And I normally don't want to get out of the house. I'm like, there's people out there. Like, there's people out there and all my stuff is here. Like, I don't want to go out there. It's crazy out there. But every so often I like to go out and do things. And so I was like, hey, can we go do that? And he was like, no, I don't want to go. Okay, but why? Well, I just don't want to. Okay, fine. But he was like, well, you can go. Well, no, I didn't want to go by myself. I wanted to go and do it as a fun little outing. You know, like I would go out and do things that he wanted to do because I enjoyed seeing him do things that made him happy. And I was like, look, this might not be my thing, but you're enjoying it, and that's all that matters to me. And I thought it was, you know, really, really nice. And like he gave me things, like he went to a convention a few years ago, and he brought back things for me that he thought I would like. And some of them I did. Some of them I didn't, but I did not throw them away because he took the time to look at it and think, okay, she might enjoy this. And even though he kind of missed the mark, it meant something to me because of the person that gave it to me, so I kept it regardless. And I had a point with all of this. I swear I did. My point being, being attracted to someone and loving them is not enough to always make marriage work. There were big red flags that I ignored, and probably red flags that he ignored as well. Because, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm a nightmare to deal with sometimes. I'll admit it. Even I don't want to deal with me half the time, so kudos to anybody that does put up with me for a little bit. But that bridge where she said, you know, what you loved, what you wanted, what you held so high when we first met, you know, in hindsight, that was the stuff that you asked me to change. And I can't change it. And even if I could, you know, do I really want to change who I am just for some guy? No. I'm not going to change who I am for you. If I change, it's for me. Because of things that I notice that I need to work on. I'm not going to do it for someone else. I'm going to do it for me. So, okay. I think I've sufficiently rambled enough to be able to finish this song. There's not much left of it. But I'll go back a little bit just so I'm not throwing things off. Anyway, let's get back to this.
Things that you tried and asked me to change, as if I could do that. Like a wave, you're always crashing into me, and these days are harder.
I really like those background vocals.
And they used to be.
I like that high note at the end, the way it almost sounded like a break. It wasn't a break, it was meant to sound like that. Um, but I really, really like that because it ends on a note of heartbreak. And, ultimately that's the main emotion you feel at you know, the end of a relationship. Yet you go through the 5 stages of grief, honestly. You go through anger, denial, bargaining, depression, acceptance. You go through all of that. And, it's even worse if they're constantly back and forth. Like my ex-husband did that like over a month after he moved out. He was like, "Oh, I think I might have made a mistake. I really miss you. And if I could take it all back, I would." So I was like, "Okay, what does that mean? Like, do you want to try again? What do you want?" And he was like, "Oh, I don't know. I just wanted to tell you." Okay, sure. Thanks for that. When you decide what you want, you let me know. And he said, "Okay." And then 4 days, 4 days later, he was like, "Oh, I don't know why you thought I would come back. Um, I didn't until you told me that." I had made it all the way to acceptance by that point. I was like, "You know what? I've accepted this is over. I'm good. We can move on." And then he threw a wrench in that, and I was like, "All right, well, now what?" So now I'm kind of back where I was in the beginning. Actually, I've moved on to anger now. Now I'm just mad. Now I'm just angry. Um, but okay, yeah. Back to Lighthouse. Oh my gosh. Kelly's right. That might be the saddest song she's ever written. It was gorgeous. It was very, very, very well done vocally. Lyrically, very, very strong. Even if it tore me to shreds. Hopefully nobody else has that pain, that visceral react. If you want to have that kind of visceral reaction, if you're just one of those people, that's cool. But I hope that visceral reaction is not because you are going through something similar. I really hope not. Um, this was a way more emotional video than I had anticipated. I apologize for the rambling earlier. Even though it was my explanation for why I totally lost it. I know you guys don't really want to hear all that. I am gonna leave it in the video just because um, I think the explanation needs to be there because somebody else will be like, "Oh, she's just an emotional girl." Yeah, no, I mean yes, but no. Yes, but no. Um. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are not as emotionally scarred by this song as I was. And as always, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. If there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. And yeah, I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.